just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see? I just wanna be free.
Okay. Another episode of the Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Kamille Smith. And man, oh man, what a day it has been. Um, so this is episode 199. Chee! And I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. Ideally, I wanted this to be last week. Things happened. I was late for a Thanksgiving dinner. Big up Shayna and her family for inviting me because it hasn't been the same since my mom has passed. And then I had a migraine when I said I was going to do something on Sunday. So here we are. Here we are. But anyways, um I'm excited because, well, let me be honest. It's something about Saturdays where it feels like a Sunday to me, where I don't want to do anything. But then I realize, yo, this gives me life. I'm going to have my 200th episode, and I'm like, when is it a perfect time to do it? So I said to myself, I'm not going to do it next week because I'm actually invited to a gala. So, man, I have to make sure my hair prim and proper. I actually did before we started. And also, I think it's iconic for me to have the 200th episode this on November, was it November 2nd? I think it's November 2nd. November 2nd, the day after 4 years anniversary of this podcast all together. So, boy. So I'm gonna take a pause next week, and then November we're gonna hit it up. There's 5 Saturdays in November. It's financial literacy month, so boom, bam, bam. We're gonna make it nice and special, nice and crisp, nice and proper. Um, but today I actually wanted to talk about something that I feel like folks that are in their 20s don't think about. Folks kind of in their 30s don't think about. And then once you get to 40, 50, you feel frantic, right? I'm not speaking for everyone, but I just feel like there has been times when I've, heard people talk about their retirement or what their ideal retirement is. And a lot of folks say these days, oh, I want to retire when I'm 50. I want to retire when I'm 60. And that's great and dandy, but have we the proper steps to take care of that, right? And we have to remember, and this could be for Canadians and Americans. So, but I'm gonna be speaking mostly to the Canadians. Them, sorry guys, I love you, American folks. Trust me, I promise, I promise. But I want you to think about this and think about it overall because it still relates to y'all, right? Um, but give me a minute because I'm just gonna start up the article because I found it in an article and I was like, yo, this is kind of dope. So I found this article, don't mind the fool.ca. I've actually been following them for a long time, and some of their advice is really legit. They've actually helped me pick some stocks and stuff. And before I even start with that, okay. If you've seen how the stock market has been going, y'all have been at me like, "Oh my god, what should I buy? Should I buy now?" Um, First things first, don't panic. Even if you didn't do it the Friday, September, you're still in a good standing. As long as you're thinking long term, please think long term, right? And I also remembered for everyone that has been watching me on my journey of content for the last couple months, please share, like, comment, keep doing you. And to the MVP, Shayna, you are the real MVP. I still have, you know what? I haven't even um tallied up the points, but yes, it's between Shayna and my favorite Cleveland author Jamel. So big up yourself. Ona are like literally tied. And don't worry, Shane, I know you're number one overall and things, right? But I digress. I digress. I'm definitely gonna have a post about this article and everything, but I just want to have it as like a visual so everyone's seeing everything stuff. So this is the article. Do you guys want to see it? Okay, let's read it together, y'all. I'm gonna share my screen. So everyone's watching the replay. You'll be able to share my screen. But I still like having. I'll make sure I'm gonna share the right screen. Well, let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen because I get very worried when it comes to that type of stuff, right? Um, okay, so boom, share. So, retirement planning is a process of preparing for the years that you no longer are working. Involves setting retirement goals, calculating how much money you need to save, and deciding how you're going to save that money. Boom, bam, bam. And like the question is that I have, what is your ideal retirement? Right? Is that what is your ideal retirement? Because I think the scary part is that a lot of us don't think about that, right? Sorry, I meant to say, what does your ideal retirement look like? So I want you all to tell me what your ideal retirement is. So I'll before I let me take this off. Before I start, my ideal retirement is I'm able to wake up. I'm able to wake up whenever the Ross clap me want, and it's not 5:30 like you folks that are saying, "Oh, you have to wake up early." It's definitely not 5:30. I don't mind waking up before 9 because then I feel like I can still be productive, still catch up on things, and even prepare for the stock market, which is weird because I think I would still be looking at the stock market even when I'm retired, right? So boom. So I have my water, my warm water, and my fruits, and have a meal like breakfast. Um, Whether it's an omelet or scrambled eggs with cheese, um, boom. Able to just relax. You know what? Oh man, retirement might still be like kind of working, staying busy, or just being able to have discussions with folks. Actually, yeah, it's still being able to have discussions about personal finance and just like different goals that we have, and of course like plan a time to travel and things, right? That's definitely what I would that would be how my ideal retirement is. I'm doing what I want to do, whichever day. Every day feels like a weekend. If I want to do a webinar just to teach folks, I'm gonna do it. If I want to travel, I'm gonna do it, and just like be able to be around like my loved ones and things, right? And just embrace that. And I know that sounds silly because I still do that now, but I'm just thinking of things that will help me keep my peace of mind and stuff. However, enough about me. I'm gonna ask you guys the same question. What does your ideal retirement look like? Boom, bam, bam. So please put it in the chat, put it in the comments. I want to know what your ideal retirement looks like. And it could be anything outrageous. And then tell me the price. So my ideal number, and this is the first thing, right? Is of course did that. Set a retirement goal. I don't want to show you guys it. Actually, I'm not sharing it. I'm just gonna rock with it. Y'all gotta just watch. Actually, okay, I'll show you guys it. So set a retirement goal. Whether it's living a modest life in your hometown, traveling, living closer to your loved ones, going back to school, picking up hobbies, working a part-time job, or moving abroad to another country. There's nothing about working a part-time job that will be in my, I guess, am I talking ish? And when I think of a part-time job, I think of like, oh, am I going to work at Walmart? No diss to the people that work at Walmart. I'm just saying, remember, the one thing I'm very scared about is if I retire and I have to go back to work. And I think even though what I do right now, I don't have to retire. I could just do it occasionally. But I don't feel of it as a part-time job. I feel of it as like a passion that I have. So if you want to work part-time, by all means, but traveling is definitely going to be a part of it, right? So set a retirement goal, right? Um, I think we're setting and have a number, have a retirement number, right? And what's your retirement number? Honestly, honestly, I want to say mine. I've always thought about it 5 million. I've been asked this by my mentor, and he's like, "What's your number?" I'm like, 5 million. Once I have 5 million, I'm Gucci. I don't have to think about anything because one, that 5 million is going to be invested most of the time, and dividends, right? So that's one thing I am not worried about. Like once I hit that number, and then I guess people are gonna start asking me, "Oh, how are you going to get that number?" Well, I invest, I save, and all that stuff, right? So that's one thing that hmm, that's one thing that I strive for. You know, my technology as well has been snaking me as of late. So you see me get frustrated because of that. Number two, decide your benchmark retirement age. So what is your age that you want to retire? Um, retirement age is going to stop working full time. So is it going to be 50? I hear people saying 50 sometimes. I hear people saying 55. I think was it Freedom 55 that there was always that um talk about having, oh, when I'm 55, I'll be able to do everything I want. That's grand. And then there's 60, 70 and odd. But yo, I swear the government is and don't quote me on this. I'm going to double check, and if I'll do a correction if anything. They're trying to push retirement to like 70. Like, are you guys mad? Hey, yo, listen, people already want to retire at 55, 60, 65. No, I'm not going to 70. I'm some mud. Mud sick. But here's the key things. So when you reach age 60, you do have the opportunity to get your CPP. However, remember when you get your CPP earlier than 65, you get less because you have to stretch it out for the time period, right? Age 65, you get the old age security and guaranteed income supplement. begins. Also remember with old age, you also get crawlback if you make a certain amount. Yes, yes, I know someone's gonna get cheese and say, but I want to get all of that. Ideally, what you want is the money that um ideally the money that you receive from the government, you rather not use that per se, but have money that you've had saved up on your own. Ideally, in my opinion, that's the ideal, right? And then 871 is when you convert your RRSPs into a RIF, which is, remember, registered retirement savings plan turned into a registered retirement income fund. I know someone's going to cuss me about this, but I have a controversial statement about that. Golly. All right. So these are the things that you want to consider when you're deciding whether you want to be retiring when you're 60, retiring when you're 65, or retiring when you're 70. I know a lot of people want to retire earlier, so you're gonna have to make sure the RSP or the CPP and all that stuff, you have other funds that's gonna take care of your retirement, right? That's why I say don't even look at this for it to be your safety net or safekeeping, right? That's just me. That's just me. All right. So number three, decide how you're spending. Determine how your spending will change in retirement. So when you're retired, are you gonna have your mortgage? Are you gonna have that life insurance premiums? Are you gonna Then you have to remember the commuting expenses, so you don't have to, be driving or taking the GO train downtown. You don't have to worry about this hectic traffic. Traffic is crazy. Or the gas prices. I was getting happy when I wasn't driving and I saw it at 130. I was like, oh, woo, when I get back to driving, it'll be that price. Now it's 150 something. What happened, guys? What happened to the price? However, you're going to encounter new expenses like healthcare, long-term care, unexpected housing costs, maintenance, repairs, and that's not even something that happens when you're retired. That freaking happens before you're retired. So you're gonna expect those type of things, right? Ideally, hopefully, you don't have to experience this. Adult children who need financial help, expenses related to your retirement goal, such as traveling and things. So these are the things that you're gonna have to consider. So that's why normally what happens with folks is whatever they're making now, you want to see if that's what you're gonna be spending when you retire, and then that's how you technically get your number. So say, calculator time, calculator time. So let's say the average folks, oh, boom. So remember, oh, it did something. I don't know what it did. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, so average salary in Canada as of 2024. Okay, so the average before tax is 65 bucks, right? So let's say the average salary in retirement, average salary for retirees in Canada as of 2024. See, they can't even say it. Okay, so let's say 65 before tax, right? So let me get my calculator. So 65. Oh man, this calculator don't want to work. Oh, I wish I could. Ooh, I might just show you guys the whole screen. Now, the 65. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna show you the whole screen. Present. Stop sharing. Share. Share entire screen. Think I don't got nothing bad on the thing. Okay, so 65. So you want to retire at age 60. You're gonna live till 100 years old and things, right? Let's say that. So 35. 35 years. See? You only need 2.2 million. However, say you want to retire at age 50, because I know there's a lot of people that have been saying that. He at 50? Kamille, that's wild. I know, but if that's what you want, that's what you want. So it's like 3 million, but we're not even factoring in inflation and everything. So ideally, if you were to live off of 65,000 before taxes during your retirement, 50 odd years, your retirement number would be 32, sorry, 3.25 million. So my 5 million is ideal because that's way more, but I'm not thinking of retiring when I'm 50 and stuff, right? So, and then we had to take in consideration of our everyday expenses, food, and me. I love food and stuff, and I like traveling. So, things like that. So, ooh, so this is how we're going to calculate. So, mm-mm. So four, calculate how much you'll need in retirement. So I kind of gave you a different way to think about it, right? But here's the way that they have it. So there's the 80% rule. So 80% rule says that you should expect to replace around 80% of your pre-retirement income to maintain your current, right? So you see how I just said that? I'm trying to bring it over here because I want to do the calculation before. So if you're making 65, then technically you're good with 52, right? Or if you want to do the example, the 150, a household with 150,000, boom, you just need 120, right? That's ideal. That is actually more ideal. But this is either a single person, obviously, but this is also someone that has a household of two. So ideally, you could do this, right? So if you have 100, so let's go for the big bucks folks that want to live a higher lifestyle, and let's say 35. I'm not going to do 20 years. That's kind of wild. So even that 4.2 million, you can still have a comfortable life. And ideally, you'd have the mortgage and all that stuff. If you want a little bit more, you know, 7 million. So ideally, just do the 80% rule to see how this would match with your life, or the 4% rule. And I've heard the 4% rule. I think this is what the RSP concept goes with, is the 4% rule, is that you just withdraw 4% of your savings each year. That's why if you have $1 million, it's going to take 25 years for it to deplete. I've actually seen someone, golly, I'm trying to remember their age. They are 45, 50, let's say, and they were making about 200,000. And the amount of their savings was high. Um, if they wanted to retire at that time, they could have, and they would have been good for hundreds of years. I seen it with my own two eyes, and I was like, wow, that's incredible. And that's just like doing investments, right? Then there's the 10x rule. I haven't really heard this one. Um, but I mean, if you made 150,000 you want to 10x it, by all means, and you'll be able to live comfortably. Um, I feel like that one's not realistic when you think about. So basically, you're thinking like 10 years. That's all you need, right? I think that's more ideal for other folks, but I don't see the point of this one. Let me know if you guys like this. Which one do you like? The 80% rule, the 4% rule, or the 10x rule? Um, I mean, it can go on, it can go on. But also remember, this is your personal life. Maybe 1 month you want, or 1 year you want to spend 100,000. The next year you want to spend 65,000. That's all up to you, right? But then we also want to factor in the fifth one is any additional income expected to receive in retirement, and that's what they're talking about with the CPP. I almost said EI. You're not gonna get EI. At that time. No, no, no. New, 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 new. So, when you're saving, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. This is a great way to get additional income when you're living comfortably, right? You're like, all right, I have this comfortable because remember taxes. When the tax people want to get their money from them CPP and that things, it's a done deal, right? So you want to be mindful about this, but I would never encourage someone to just strictly depend on these money that's coming in. I fear that for everyone I know. That's why I always say invest in things, right? So you do have the CPP, the Canada Pension Plan. For my American folks, let me know what the equivalent is for the CPP. I think it's you guys call it the your Social Security. So that's one thing that something that you put in each year. You do want to get that money. Ideally, this one you do want to get because you put in all that money throughout your years. So this one, I agree. CPP, go get your CPP. Go get your CPP. You deserve it. They took it out every time that you worked. Get it back, right? And then you have your old age security. Something about this word just this is just rude and disrespectful, but whatever. So it's just a government sponsored pension. If you make a certain amount, they will crawl back some of this amount. So it's like if you make 120, you're good. You don't even have to worry about this. They just deduct it each tax season, right? Then you have your guaranteed income supplement. And this is for folks that are in a lower threshold income, right? I don't recommend this one because that means you are not at the spot that you kind of want to be. And I'm not dissing anyone that's on it. I just think if you were able to plan accordingly, you wouldn't have to use this because you wouldn't be eligible. If you're making 120, if you have 120 in your savings and things for each year, they're not even looking at you for this one, right? So I don't want anyone to strive for this one, and I'm not dissing nobody if you are doing this. This again, if y'all want to do a part-time employment, by all means, do it up, do it up, but make sure it's something that you're passionate about. Or if you're really that bored, just volunteer instead, right? Like it happens, your money runs out during retirement, but we're going to have some strategies on how not for that to happen, right? And then you have home equity. This one I don't partake in, so I'm just going to read. You can use your home as a source of income, especially if you own it forthright, downsizing to a smaller home or moving to an area where there's lower standard living. You may allow to put a portion of your equity towards retirement. If that's how you see fit, by all means, but just be mindful about the amount that you're taking out and things, right? I wouldn't want you guys to be in a pickle at the end of the day. That's the last thing I want, right? Uh, so here's the one that me want to talk about. This is how we save the day. Pick an investment account to save for retirement. So I'm not sure if you guys remember the episode where I it was last year August. I gave you guys all the types of accounts that you can think about in your account when you're investing or in things, right? Darn, I really want to say the name of it. It was last year August. Remember, it's 199 episodes, so give me a minute. I believe it was called Chasing Financial Freedom, Mastering Canadian Investment Accounts. So go to that one so you're able to see which account would be ideal for you, right? Um, but we'll give a rundown, and I can't wait to talk about this one that I heard. So RRSP, this is for the folks that you want to lower your income while you're working, so once you get into retirement, you don't have the tax bracket that you're going to be in when you're retired is kind of like ideally the same as before or a little bit less. So this is a strategy. If you're under 69, you can open up a RSP, but once you're 71, you have to turn it into a RIF, right? So you want to be mindful. You want to see how much space you have in your RSP. Go to your CRA account. I think this is a good strategy personally. If you want to lower your tax, especially for high earners, do this. There's always a controversial like, oh, I don't want people to tell me what to do with my money. Okay, then get a TFSA. Like, it's not that serious. Like, you don't have to be upset at this, right? But remember, your TFSA, your tax-free savings account, is actually done after taxes, like whatever you're saving. But I've seen some articles that says like ideally between the both of them, you kind of get more bang of your buck in your TFSA, right? So do both if you want. There's group registered retirement savings plan. I'm not doing that one. It's just the employer helping you. This one is my baby. I like this one. What happens when you guys don't have enough space? So this one I love. So your tax-free savings. Right now it's at 95,000. So if you've been 19 since you've been sorry, if you're 19 since 2009 when it first opened, you have enough room to put in 95,000. Next year, starting January 1st, 2025, you'll be able to put at least 102,000 in. But again, check your CRA account on how much room that you're able to put in. This is another great way to start investing. And remember, don't look at this and see it says tax-free savings account that you treat it like a investment. Sorry, treat it like a savings account. Please, please, please put in stocks, put in ETFs, all the things you could think of that you can invest, except crypto. Put in your TFSA, okay? Um, I say except crypto because I'm not sure if you can put that into your TFSA unless you have Wealth Simple in them, or unless you have a crypto ETF type of thing, right? So please, please, please look at your consideration of investing in your TFSA into your RSP. And start saving. Simple as that. Start saving. Why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? You listen. I want you to go to Walmart. I want you to go to any place where you see an elderly person working there. I'm not dissing them, but I want you to have a reality check. If you don't start saving for your future, that's going to be you in the future. Please, I don't want that to happen to you. So start saving, right? So how do we start saving? Build a savings goal budget. And if you don't want to do a budget, that's fine, but I really think putting money towards your every paycheck, every time you get money, every time you get a bonus, put something away for your savings because it will help you in the long run. Like whether it's an emergency fund that I've talked about, whether it's a sinking fund, whether it's treat yourself fund, save some money for a rainy day. Simple as that. Like it's not rocket science, but maintain your emergency fund. I think that's really critical as well. Telling you, there's times when you need that safety net. Your emergency fund helps, and I'm not sure what's going to happen once these elections come into play, but I would hate that you guys aren't preparing yourself. We've been if you are what? If you're my age, you've already been through 3 recessions. So we only can expect more recessions to happen, right? Have a I was gonna curse. Have an emergency fund, please. Okay. So boom. This is to me too. And this is to everyone. Pay down your high interest debt. The more debt you have, the less net worth you will have. So you definitely want to pay off that. There are folks that still have to pay for their mortgages and stuff, and that's if you started late, it's fine. Um, but let's try to pay off the high interest debt then, because if you still have your mortgage, if you still have your car loans and stuff, let's deal with the ones that the interest is not that high, so you don't have to worry about that. Next thing, I've said this many times: set up an automatic savings. Simple as that. It could be. I've told people this many times. I don't care if it's $5 every week or so. I just want you to save, right? And the reason why I want you to save is because if you get the habit of saving, you will get the habit of investing. So imagine that. You'll be like, okay, $5 each week. Boom, boom, boom. And if you do, I'll even be nice. If you do $5 each week, you've saved at least 260, right? Um, but once you get that momentum and you want to save $100, that's 52, right? Sorry, 5,200. Imagine if you do 2,000 every week. Then you'll be able to have a nice $104,000 is pretty decent, and that could be going into your TFSA, or a part can go into your RSP, TFSA, and there's other investments too, right? Um, so don't think you can only do the RSP and TFSA. I've showed you guys different accounts that you can put your money in, right? So just set up an automatic savings for you. And retirement planning starts today. I, Let me say it this way. It starts the moment you are having a significant amount of money or cash flow coming in where you can save one part for a rainy day emergency fund and for your retirement. I don't want to be unrealistic and say, yeah, when you're 18, start doing it. No, you don't have to. When you start seeing a cash flow where you're like, yo, I'm making money, I can actually see something in the future, start saving then, because you can have your career started when you're in your 20s. You can have your career started when you're in your 30s. Shit, you could even have it started in your 40s, right? But you still have some money saved between that time, right? But you really want to start today. And also, the earlier you start, you'll realize that you won't be paying that much into your retirement, right? That's why I always say start early. If you didn't start in your 20s, because we're all, yam heads when we're in our 20s, but in our 30s and 40s, we actually see the value of having money set aside for your future, right? So that's why I say do that. Hold on. There is some tips and tricks. Tips and tricks. Hey, tips and tricks. Where's that one? Mm. This one didn't talk about inflation, but I will mention inflation because we know inflation. Price gone up for everything, right? So you want to be mindful about that. Um, this one I actually like this one, so I'm gonna add this other article. So you want to think about your age, you want to think about your lifestyle, and you want to think about the pension income. Clearly, us folks don't will not be able to experience defined benefit plans or defined contribution plans as like back in the day, like our parents or grandparents. But we still have an opportunity to have a pension, right? You just have to one find a job that has a great pension overall. I know shout out big up to the teachers, the nurses, police officers and things. I know that's the reason why some of y'all like, stick through it because every year they see like how much potential they have for their pension. Um or marry rich. Joking, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Right? But you want to really think about your how much you're going to need to save based on your age, lifestyle, and what's going to be coming in, and then also being mindful about inflation. Inflation is going to kick our ass. Think about it this way. Houses right now, the average house, the average house in Toronto. Then I'll put Canada because I know this is I'm not going to be biased, right? Okay, the average house in Toronto is 1.11. Okay? Can you and I'm gonna even show you guys something else that's more depressing than that. So the average price, average house, sorry, average home price in Toronto, right? The average price, I'm trying to think when we were like, let's say 2000. I'm gonna say 2000. Average price in 2000. Obviously, some of us couldn't get a house, right? No, 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 no. Serious? Huh. Um, this is why it's absolutely more upsetting. The average price in 2000, this is 24 years ago, right? So you can only imagine how it's going to be 24 years from now. Start investing. Rule uh I'm just so mad when I think about this. Rule of 72. Okay? I don't remember if I've had a discussion of Rule 72, so I'll definitely have like I'm gonna start posting or pre-recording because sometimes I just don't feel like getting out of bed, but my laptop's beside me in my bed. It's those fluctuations when it comes to grief. But nah, like think about it. 200,000 then now T's and RRSPs. So let's even talk about Canada overall, because I wanna, average house price in Canada. This makes me so upset. Don't put in USD. I clicked on something wrong because it's showing the GTA. Okay, so the average selling price in Canada. So this is even better. This will actually make some people feel better. I know it did for me just 2 seconds ago looking at it. Average selling is, well, this is not that overwhelming. So then that means that we are kind of in the wrong area, right? Ideally. Um, I think Dr. Eric Thomas said you have to get out of Toronto, if anything. If it's too expensive, get out of Toronto, right? There's other provinces, or get out of the country. There's more places that are more affordable, right? And shout out to M2M because they're having something tonight um to talk about that, so you'll be able to manage what's going on here, right? So I just really want to hit the nail with that one, like, yo, re- retirement planning starts today. Or if you don't want to think about that, I want you to think, what's your ideal retirement look like? I actually want to know in the chat. I see you all people watching, but you don't want to say nothing. So what is your what? Tell me. What is your ideal retirement look like? Or what's the retirement age that you want to have? Going once, going twice. I don't bite. Say the age. I've heard 50 before. Mine personally, I'll say 55. Because me still will look young and cute. I just hope so that my body's not mashed up because arthritis is real and things. But no, for reals. I just wanted to have this discussion so folks like in my age, mid 30s or late 30s, I know I don't look it, late 30s, has an idea of what's happening in the retirement. They have a game plan, even though the investment stocks look wild, but you have an idea. Ooh, you have an idea um, on what to do, right? And tips and tricks. I don't have any because I've already done the most that I have. So ideally, figure out your number, see how much you have to save every year, and just be positive about it. Give yourself a retirement name. I think my name's, I want to say Sister Susan or something like that. I want my like 55-year-old self being proud of me. Like I'm on the beach and I'm like, it's because what you did in 2024, or it's what you did in 2025. I mean, like the first things first is I was gonna start freestyling, but no. Um, the first decision I made in a good while was in 2018 when I started investing. And that story I've told you guys many times because I was supposed to do it 10 years ago in 2008. Then I decided, yo, let me start doing that. So now I've actually reached a point where I'm proud of my investment portfolio and I can't wait for it to hit six figures. Woo! Once it hits six figures, yo, talk to me nice. Once it hits six figures, talk to me nice. Don't talk to me anyway. Talk to me nice. But yeah, I want to know. So like, put in the chat, put in the comments and stuff. What's your ideal retirement look like, and what's your retirement number, and what's your retirement age? Okay, so I want to hear those. Mine's 5 million, like I said before. I want to hear yours, okay? And I know if it's 5 million, it's gonna be well nice and things. No, I ain't gonna say that online. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. Let's just think about our retirement plan. All right? Boom, bam, bam. Till next time, folks. And like I said, the next time I'm here is the 200th. Anyone that's here, anyone that's listening, if you've been a guest, please come and join me on the 200th episode. And the 4 years of doing this, I am ecstatic that we're still holding it strong. Well, I'm still holding it strong. You guys give me life when it comes to this episode or this podcast. So I appreciate y'all. So everyone that's listening on Spotify, I appreciate y'all. Keep doing your thing, comments and all that stuff, and just share it with the folks. I just want folks to learn about personal finance. All right. Until next time, folks. Peace and love, and just stay warm. And like my shirt says, thou shall not try me. Oh, try someone else, but don't try me. Oh, peace out.
I just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free.